Hi everyone, my name is Tove. Welcome back to my channel, Tove Knits, and welcome if you are new. I've lit the third candle. Oh, the second one has a little bit technical difficulty. It is, I think, officially lit, but it is it's struggling. I've lit the third candle because today it's 3rd of Advent, so Sunday 14th of December. And because it's Advent Sunday, it's time for a new podcast. This December, I'm doing weekly podcasts to catch up with all my whips that I've been working on through the week, and to a little bit look ahead for the week to come. Grab something to drink and let's get on with it. I will start with my first whip, or my main whip, which is the poncho. This is officially my Advent whip that I'm working on from my Advent calendar this year. My Advent calendar is het atelier het wool based, and the theme is Wicked, as you can probably tell. Here it is. Now, I've talked about this design, which is partly my own, for all the episodes so far, but it's a poncho. The neck is Drops Charisma, which is not the Advent calendar, and the rest is then the Wicked calendar. We have gone from the darkness into the Elphaba green, moving on to Glinda pink, which you can really see like the wonderful fade of the pink, into some kind of a really dark pink, old-timey pink green, and we're now stepping into what I think is the Wizard of Oz himself, which is sort of an emerald green, right? So I was quite shocked yesterday when I saw the green. It's not faded into green, it's just boom, green. But I really like the color. I'm just hoping that it's gonna go well for the fade. We shall see today. Here is the next day, and I will get to that in the end of the podcast. All right, but I said we were gonna try it on because since I'm designing this myself, I'm also coming up with how to knit it while I'm knitting it. I had one increase rate in the beginning, a very harsh one, of course. Every other row was increase row and every other row was just knit. Then after how many rows, I started with an increase rate of 2 knit rounds, 1 increase round. And I think I'm sort of done with the increasing now. So let's see how it looks. I still have a very long tail, of course, because that is how I blend the colors. What is up and what is down? This is, I think, there you go. Okay, let's see. Just gonna pop it on. Where does that go? All right, okay. Yeah. It's of course a little bit wonky because I have, well, always like that when you do the trying tubing. I think this is enough. Yeah. I actually think I have done increasing, so I think I'm just gonna go plain knitting from here, because I don't want it to become any bigger, I think. I'm gonna do plain knitting for a while, and then let's see if I need to flare it out in the end. That's pretty good. I really like that the pink is on a very like prominent spot. Love it. Okay, so how long is it? It's just, yeah, I do really need to do just straight down now to get some length to this, because I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9. I only have 10 colors left. I like it though. Perfect. That tells me enough. So for now on, I'm just gonna knit, which is gonna be nice. I do, however, need to figure out how to stay, how this like raglan stitch pattern would stay. So I think I'm gonna do some kind of a special twist knit maybe, or something like that. But that's good. I know where I am. Let's move on with that and really work on that every day. And so far it's been really good. And so far I've been keeping up with the 20 gram per day. So that's also really good. All right, my second whip, which is my oldest whip, my doodle tee. I set out for December to really get going with this one, or at least finish this next doodle. So you've seen this plenty of time before. This is my own design as well. The doodles are, the top is not. But this final doodle has been the mushroom doodle. And I have been working almost 1 row per day. I struggled Wednesday, Thursday, Friday there to get any knitting done. But other than that, it's been good. And I just now changed to the grass part. So it's been blue sky so far. And now we're moving on to the green, which is the grass in the bottom. And I only have 3 or 4 rows left. So I will be done by the time I'm flying to Finland on Thursday. And that was the goal, because I don't want to bring this with me and I want to have the doodle done. So there's a doodle done in December. And then I have the Christmas to think about when I want to do it next. We are heading into maybe only 3-4 doodles left, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, let's see. I'm also ready to be done with this doodle tee, but of course it's a t-shirt, so I only really need to have it done by springtime, and that's my goal. So maybe 1 doodle a month now until April. Does it take me that long? I don't know. I did the mistake of designing the mushroom doodle with 3 colors in 1 row, and that really killed my buzz, because I don't get the flow with 3 colors color work. So I'm gonna learn from my mistakes and not do that again. All right, that's the doodle tee, that's the poncho. Let's move on to my first gift knit, which is another twisted hat by Kika. And here I'm really happy with my progress. I've done the brim of the hat. It is a double fold, so I'm now done with this part, and now we're gonna do the twisty parts. And I think there's 7 twisties, so if I can get through 2 twisties a day from now on, then I also will be done pretty fast. Although I would love to have this as my plain knitting. So should I just stop knitting it now and have enough for the plain? I need to think about that, because this is really good to have on the plain. But that's the twisted hat by Kika, my first gift knit. I'm sort of more than halfway done. I'm happy with that result. I'm also happy with the progress of my second gift knit, which is a pair of socks that has a slip stitch motif and a stripe motif. So these are my socks that I'm making out of the advent yarn from last year, the last couple of skeins from last year. In this stripy thing, it's gonna be like neon, like a little bit of a 70s feel, which I really like. The more I look at it, the more I enjoy it. With the contrasting cuff, heel and toe of this blue yarn that is also a leftover from another pair I knitted, I think from my brother. So this is the first sock that I stopped when I went into the foot, and then I picked up the second sock, and I've also knitted that until the same place. I'm really happy about that. Where I am there. This has a lot of balls connected to it, right? So four colors connected to it. So this is not great to have on the plane, because if one ball shoots out and gets all messed up, then I don't want to fight with that. But I'm probably gonna knit this week then instead. That's a good idea. The concoction or the recipe is my own. 2x2 rib, 64 stitches cast on. Then there's a slip stitch pattern, which is quite normal, I think, quite well known. It's 1 round knit, 1 round, 3 knit, 1 slip throughout. And then I did a heel flap and gusset with a every other stitch slip on the slip row with the blue completely, and that turned out really well because the next round, like the next color, was also blue. And then I'm skipping the slip stitches on the back of the foot because I think that's nicer to walk on, and I'm continuing it on the top of the foot. All right, so I have not a lot amount of yarn, but I definitely have, I think, enough for, so let's see. Yeah, it doesn't really need to be that much more yarn. I'm gonna do 1 whole set of repeat on this and then go over to this, and then I'm gonna see how much yarn I have. And then we'll see if I just finish it up with the blue, which I have a lot with. I'm also not sure how big of a foot I need to make, so I need to figure that out as well, about the recipient's shoe size. I don't know really how small feet she does have. That's the 2 gift knit. Then we're moving on to, let me see mine. I showed you this one before. This is how good I've been, and a struggle, as I said, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we did the poncho, we did the sock, we did the doodle, we did the hat. So then it's only the blanket. Now this blanket, it is weird, but I do think that it's gonna be good. So just bear with me. This is Ted's blanket, I'm calling it. Like 6 months ago, I did Milou's blanket out of this 700 gram of big boy skein ball in pinks and purples. And I have the same for a blue and green blanket. And this is my own design, and I came up with it a while ago, but I couldn't really figure out how to do the corners. And it's based on the Jelly Roll blankets, but it's in the round. So it's a continuous blanket. Made up with German short rows as a corner. So I started here, and then started with the light blue, and then whoop, it was gone, and then it's a bright dark blue. And then when I get to a corner, I sort of German short row up and German short row down. And then since this was the first corner, I did it again and ended up here. And then I knitted down, and then a corner, and a knit, and a corner, and a knit, and a corner. So then I go round and round and round and round until I really end up with, I'm done with the yarn basically. And while I knit, I also do an SSK to join in the following sort of strip. So this is where I am. I'm really enjoying it because it's so mindless, but it's something, and it's not a lot of stitches. The poncho is not a lot of stitches, so 1 round feels like forever, but this one doesn't. And I turned the green, and now I'm turning back into light blue, so that's fun. But it's a little bit weird. But I think when it comes a little bit bigger, you'll see the vision. And I'm using DPNs, which is really fun because I haven't used DPNs in years. So that's good. And it's like a chunky weight, so it's a good stash buster. In my stash busting journey, I will also talk about in the end of the year, because that's interesting. I did really well in November when I finished up a lot of yarn from all my sweaters. And now I'm hoping I'm gonna finish up the 480 gram yarn from the Advent. It seems like I'm gonna. And I have some bits and pieces here and there, but not a lot of other things, because yeah, it's a lot of yarn. So we shall see about the final numbers of the year. I always count my stash in the end of the year. I will do so when I come back from Finland, because clearly I can't do it this year specifically. All right. I have started a new project, and that is also sort of part of the stash busting project. I have been thinking about what to do with all my acrylic yarn, and it's not something I would like to wear. So I'm thinking like hats, kids, socks, and all of that. Perfect. And then I found a very specific and very good plan. Scrunchies. I have velvet yarn, some leftovers, and I have a lot of acrylic color changing yarn, glitter yarn, and so on, which would be great for scrunchies. And this is my first attempt. I have the last end still. Isn't it cute? Thoroughly enjoyed making that one, and I'm crocheting again, so that's nice. So this is crochet. And the second one I have on the go is from this, again, like glitter acrylic yarn that I do not want to wear, but it would be perfect in my hair. So this is the ongoing. I'm holding this yarn double because it's quite thin, and I've done one round, and I'm on the second one, trying to figure out what I want to do with my second one. And that's a second, like another scrunchie. So fun, and such a good gift knit. I'm definitely knitting, definitely crocheting this as gifts for Christmas. I'm super happy about that. It's quick and easy, and it takes a couple of grams here and there, so that's good. All right, that's it for my whips. Let's open my advent calendar, and then finally let's talk about the next week. Number 14. So remember, it was emerald green. You'll have a first look. Can you see it? It's dark. It's really dark. Ooh, okay, I see. Look, emerald blue. Can you see that? Like, it's really dull on the camera, but it's really like in the light, it's almost shimmering. This is then emerald green into blue. And we got a stitch marker today. Glinda's staff, or Glinda's wand. That's cute. All right. That's gonna go really well with the blue. The green. That's the green. That's the blue. Put it together, it's almost the same color. So I don't have to fade that much, I think. I will though, but I won't. Don't have to. Okay, great. That's cute. Then I'm thinking we're gonna go into a blue part. And then where are we gonna end up on 24th? I don't know. Exciting. All right. So I'm gonna wind this now, because we're gonna sit in the car for the afternoon, going to my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, but it's her birthday, so we're gonna go visit them. So I'm gonna knit in the car the poncho for the day. I think that's a good plan. And that's Sunday. Now next week is gonna be special, because we're gonna fly on Thursday to Finland. Me and my kids are going first, and then my husband is joining later because he's working, and he can't work from home, which I can. My dad is coming on Tuesday to sort of help us go, because there's too small still that I cannot fly with them alone, and I also don't want to. It's quite a lot of work flying with them. So he's coming on Tuesday, staying until Wednesday, Thursday, to then fly back with us to Finland on Thursday. And then we're gonna stay there for the rest of the year. That's gonna be really good. I'm hoping they have snow. Clearly we don't have snow in this country. Oh, the candle gave up. No. And yeah, so that's gonna be the next week. So it's been a little bit busy. I need to stop packing, but that's gonna be good. I'm so excited. I'm also getting Christmas spirit now, actually. It's hard when it's no snow to get Christmas spirit, but the 3rd of Advent, that means that we are almost there. And I'm done with my Christmas shopping. It's just now the packing, and then, yeah, when I get to Finland, it's a lot of baking, a lot of cooking, which is gonna be fun. And meeting a lot of family, which is also really great. I'm gonna leave it here. If you are not subscribed, please do so. And if you are, give me a like. That'll help the algorithm for sure. I wish you a good evening, and I wish you a great week. I think this week is gonna be a lot of shorts, so just keep an eye on when I post opening these advent calendars. Have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow.